All right, y'all. It's been 10 years, and finally, Attack on Titan has ended. And, the boys are here to cry and share our thoughts together. But we also have a special guest, the original founding Titan, Tierno. Welcome. Welcome, buddy. I'm so
Mm.
happy to pop, your pod cherry. So, what's up, man?
Hey man, honestly, it's great to be here. Honestly, this is my first time ever joining you guys. I watch a lot of your videos, very big fan, and
Aw.
definitely just excited to talk about like one of my favorite animes, hands down. So definitely looking forward to getting into it. And before I start, should
Mm.
say that it is Abdul and DeAndre roughly 3 years ago that got me into this anime because they were watching the end of season 4, part 2 or part 1. And yeah, no, their excitement
Mhm.
alone is what got me into the anime. So big thank you to y'all.
Of
Subtle
course,
shout
man.
out. Subtle
We
shout
had
out.
to we had to leave the brunch to go watch anime. I said,
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
go ahead.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
ah,
Go ahead.
Mm.
We got something
Mm.
to handle.
Was
Something to
this
handle.
your first anime you ever watched? Or no, you watched Dragon Ball Z. I'm tripping. I don't know why I didn't ask that.
yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter leading up, and now I'm doing like Demon Slayer and JJK.
And still now, the
Mm.
Attack on Titan is just like, yeah, this is my number one right here.
Nah,
Hmm.
trust me, it's yeah. From like a story point standpout, 100% yes.
Uh-oh. There
But
we
from like
go.
nostalgia,
Well,
There we
we
well,
go.
can
shit,
get into
man.
that.
Let's
There
Let's
we
get
let's
into
go.
it
get
then.
into
All
I,
right,
I,
all that.
so
I like that slight
time,
hezzy on that. I like that.
all right, so 10 years in the making. Did the ending satisfy you? Was this everything you wanted it to be? Was there anything left on the table? You want more? Like, let us know.
I don't know who wants
No,
to
no, no,
start,
no.
I'm,
but
I'm
Relax.
asking, I'm
You
asking Tierno.
relax.
I'm
Yeah,
asking the
Tierno
guest. All
first.
right,
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
asking the
the guest
guest.
yes,
first.
go for it.
Not
Go
the
for it. Go
not
for
the
it.
nigga dressed up as a scout right now. You sir,
Who's dressed
relax.
up, dude? No,
Oh,
Tierra
you
looks
are
great,
scout.
son.
Oh, all right.
Hang on, son. Did you say
I
something?
think I think whoever watched the show since day one, DeAndre, you watched the show since like 2013. You definitely have to go first.
Oh, okay.
Mm. Mm.
Was that satisfied with the ending? To an extent, yeah. I know we had a conversation before. I was like, all right, the ending, we all knew Eren had to die. I'm so satisfied with all of that. I'm so satisfied with the way that like Eren died. Armin and gang had to go back to paradise to try and like make things right with them. The only thing
Mm.
that got me was like, all right, you see Aaron get buried at the tree, and you see Mikasa's there. They put a little gravestone up there. Then years, centuries, however much time passes, the tree gets bigger and it grows, and it's like, oh, that was a Mirror's tree. So my only thing is like, you show that fucking kid, and you show him go into the tree, letting you know like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this could all happen again. Titans could come back. So to me, that says this story is not fully over. So you might as well put the end and then put a question mark on it. To me, like that's what it is to me. But
Well, I mean,
Mm.
that's
Okay.
that is how good stories usually do end. Like, I think like if you watch, even sometimes you'll watch like movies with Christopher Nolan, you see the ending of Inception, you see how it's kind of like you can kind of assume or leave the ending open to interpretation. I think that's good that it does that. It's capturing suffering in a way, but it's also giving you that, like, at the point of it to me was kind of like the moral of the story is humanity can't ever be left in peace.
Mm.
Aaron's objective is to kind of level it out and make it even. And even though people kind of felt like at the end, he stomped out so much of humanity, but it might happen again.
80%.
Make me the villain, so you guys team up and like you guys look like the heroes and everything like that. But at least for like a couple hundred years, you guys will find peace and you have a chance at kind of like preserving yourselves, and we can at least end the Titan power and everything. But regardless, it's left there. It's left there that it's sour. That yeah, this can very much happen again. That as long as there's people, even before the Titan power, corruption is always going to exist, and because of humankind's like compulsion to dominate, yeah, evil is never going to exist with or without the Titan power. I thought it was a perfect wrap up. And I like you're also a manga reader. I think it just
There you go.
explained it a lot better in the anime than it did in the manga, because there was like more of a development in the, like, I guess, in the show itself. But yeah.
Mm. T, what
So
you got, man?
Tierna?
Yeah, no, I'm certainly agree with Abdul. Like, I think that's like a technique on ending like any type of story is like, I don't know, the first story that comes to mind is like Halo 3. I just feel like even when
Oh
Master Chief was
shit.
lost in space at the end of Halo 3, you just start
Mm.
thinking like, yo, what if? Like, what's gonna happen to him next? And like, you kind of accept it to be the end, but you know that it's like not fully the end. Similarly, like, yeah, a lot of different styles of shows. Like, you don't need to put a perfect bow on it, but at the same time, too, I still do appreciate how it gives like the viewer kind of like that feeling of like what's possibly going to happen next. And heck, I could easily see them creating a universe out of this just because they're making so much money, and that's
I
like a
hope
whole nother
not. I hope
argument
I
down the road. I hope not, because like the story's
Mm.
perfect, leave it alone as it is. But it does just really just give me at least like the sense of like, yo, what's possibly next. So I'm not mad at it.
I don't think you could do a universe. I think you could maybe do like prequel spin-offs and stuff. Maybe
Mm.
not
not like
even
a
that.
like if
Don't
you were
even do
thinking
that.
of that way. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to because
Yeah.
I like tight, concise stories personally too. But I don't need like I don't need you to kind of be cash grabbing. It looks like they maxed out. You know, like I don't think we mentioned it, but this show started in 2013 to now end in 2023, and the show is only like 60 episodes, 70, 80 episodes, something like
It's
that.
all
It's
those
not
damn
a
Yeah, like
parts.
particularly
You got part 4, final part 1,
yeah.
part 2.
yeah.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
so people think the
There's not a
show
season
is
5.
exactly that was a big sentiment online, right? But people think the show is longer than it was, but it's really just because it just took so long to, I guess, animate the actually like everything that happened at the end. It didn't. There was no filler, by the way, either. And even in retrospect, some of those moments that you kind of didn't like when you saw the characters that were trying to spend the entire series kill each other come together like by a campfire and then unite to take on your beloved main character, like your beloved main character. This is also not a theme we haven't seen before with like, you know, you've seen Light Yagami be the antagonist and the protagonist before, but he's carrying the story. I'm not going against him. When this season 4 started, our Eren was in the middle. I'm like, kill them all. Kill them all. So, and like, I don't know about you guys, but I was low key riding with Eren. So,
I'm a
Genocide,
Jaegerist.
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
Genocide,
I'm a
bro.
I
Jaegerist.
like
genocide.
Oh
Bro,
man.
all right.
certainly
Bro,
like
you.
Aaron.
Oh,
They
go
gave
ahead.
him
Go
a
ahead. Go ahead.
Go Turner.
Yeah, like they certainly gave Aaron like a compelling story. Like by all means, like at least like the one thing I appreciate about like a villain like Aaron, the villain they try to create out of him is that they justified his means to say like, yo, he kind of had this upbringing that at least like you could get behind. You could see why he's not
Mm.
just like a psycho. He's not like a villain. He's not evil just to be evil. He's not like your regular Frieza. He's just like he's genuinely like a dude who just has goals that align with like other
Yeah.
people's goals, and that's what I feel like is what this show encompasses so well.
I mean, I'm killing for my
Like,
family. You know,
yeah, exactly.
who wouldn't do
Itachi
that?
joke, you know,
Yeah,
you
come
kill
on,
your family
Naruto.
to save the world, or do you save the world and kill your family? That's it's that whole Itachi universe thing. But I think
I like what
Aaron
you
said
did
it's the
there.
best
Whole
thing
show is
ever.
about
Like he got it like good. I'm an idiot who just happened to get power. And I thought that was like that's honestly what happened. Like this plan, this wasn't a good plan. Like it was a terrible ass fucking plan, bro. But he was like, this is the only way I see us, winning. So I'm gonna do it.
I like that. I like that trope was kind of defeated in itself, that he's not trying to be Mr. Noble, that I'm trying to necessarily save humanity. Because even when him and Armin have that conversation in the anime, they kind of like, I mean, in the anime they developed it more, but in the manga they didn't really talk about it. But him pretty much admitting that, yeah, I am just someone selfishly obsessed with power. Armin's like, you didn't have to kill everybody, but he's like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed it. Like it kind of showed you that, yeah, he's actually a piece of shit. He defeated these tropes before in the show when you're watching such and such Titan transforming, and let me stop you from doing that. But also towards the end, when the show was wrapping up and you're thinking like, wow, he's doing something so noble, Armin's kind of like, hey, man, you didn't have to kill babies. You didn't have to kill all these innocent people, but he has to tell you, like, this person that you followed from season 1 to now, he's telling you now, nah, I kind of enjoyed the killing. Not to mention, like, go ahead.
No, I was going to say he's my guy. So to add on to the piece of shit vibes, I mean, what do you say more that he was the one that guided? You said the season 1, he guided that Titan to attack his mom. Like, if that's not the biggest piece of shit in the world, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, from season 1, from episode 1, watching your mom die and you feel that pain that he felt, but to the very last episode to know that he orchestrated his mom dying, it is the most sinister thing in the world. Like, it's no way to excuse that, but it's so beautiful because you didn't expect it. Like, I don't know. I just think like like Attack on Titan doesn't necessarily do a lot of things unique. It just executes it really well. I think like it does this thing where like you're kind of kept in the dark as what's gonna happen. It does a good like distraction method where you're like, okay, the plot right now to me is about this genocide that's happening. Like, oh, we need to stop Eren. So for people that didn't know what was going to happen, you're hoping that like, is Eren that committed to it? But whole time he had this master plan. The plot at one point is thinking like, who is betraying us or whatever it might be. But then you find out other people have this ability. Like the whole reveal of Reiner and the Beast Titan was just kind of thrown on you, right? Like everything was shocking. And I think the biggest twist in itself was that the Attack Titan's power is to see the memories of the future. Like it just makes no sense, right? But to see that he orchestrated it for him to talk to his dad, like that tells you that okay, this is the most complex character.
Possibly one of the hardest scenes too, by the way. Yeah, like when he's literally talking to his dad, like do it. His dad's just like fucking losing his shit and all that. Like you know what you gotta do, right? Yeah.
One thing about the Astral that kind of like I didn't like this so much. Like the Attack Titan can see the future and whatnot, whatever. That's a whole lot convenient to me. It's just like that's whole lot of plot armor because it's called.
That's when they lost me with that.
It's called the Attack Titan. And I was like, I'm thinking like this guy got hands.
But now I can see the future.
But now I can see the future. I was like, if you were to do that, at least call it something else. Don't call it the Attack Titan.
Well, the Attack Titan.
Look at the nerd about to defend it.
I don't know, Tierno, if you have something else to add, but I was just gonna say, like the Attack Titan's power, like when they were explaining it, when you look at all the other Titans, they at least have like a unique ability. Like the Jaws Titan power is just he can bite the shit out of stuff, and then like you have you have the Colossal Titan, you have the Armor Titan that has like superior defense. If you just looked at Eren's Titan, it didn't really look like the weakest one compared to it until you learned that he has that ability to see memories of the future, and then you learned that power itself is what's leading them to gain the Founding Titan power and everything else beyond that. So it's like it's beyond the ability itself. It's kind of what orchestrates the entire story. Like the only free will you have is the free will I allowed you to have at this point.
No, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying it's like it's a whole lot of convenient. I'm saying like you assume the Attack Titan is the exact same as the female Titan because they have pretty much the same powers,
same build,
and they both just throw hands. Like everyone else, like has a Jaws Titan jaws. Fucking Beast Titan looks like a fucking like ape or whatever beast. Attack Titan, I can see into the future. What?
Yeah. and you can summon other Titans. Like you can do certain things, right? Like you can literally call upon other Titans. My bad, Terry. No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Like certainly to that point, like one of my very few like little stripes I have about the show is that it does keep things so ambiguous with like this whole Titan power thing that they kind of have to keep you in the dark without like completely telegraphing what they're about to do next. Because like imagine in season 1 them teaching you about like the Attack Titan's ability to see into the future. Kind of would have like really thrown you off as a viewer. So they kind of like feed you along the way, but I'm not gonna hold you. They do give like a lot of like crazy like, oh, the Founding can do whatever it wants under the sun. Like that was kind of crazy to me. But that being said, like I like the fact that it at least makes sense in its universe. When it's at least making these rules as it goes, it is making sense as it goes. So you kind of just have to take it and run with it.
Okay.
I mean what was the one Titan that he stopped from like transforming?
The Warhammer.
The Warhammer Titan. Now that power is beyond anything until you saw the Founding Titan power, where it's like I can talk to everybody, I can erase your memory. Low-key, I don't need to trample everybody. Why don't I just turn your brain off or something? Like, there's a lot of things you could do. Like,
lock your memories.
I don't know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no. I just think the simplicity of where it started from when you're watching season 1 and watching like the dynamics of seeing like how do the suits even work. You're watching Eren try to work with like broken ODM gear, and you're just thinking of this as just like a simple ass revenge plot until it turns into betrayal, until it turns into truth, and it turns into like I'm a slave to freedom. Like I'm sorry, because I've seen these memories of the future, I'm pretty much a slave to this outcome no matter what. And this is what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, like I am obsessed with it and I am enjoying it as I'm doing it, but I do love you guys, and that was kind of like
possibly the hardest scene is the sea scene. Like I said, like as somebody that just literally watched the show literally this year and went through everything, that was possibly one of the hardest scenes. And just everybody's all carefree, nonchalant, just having a good time. Like, oh shit, we see water. This nigga Eren just like, dog, like there's enemies over there. Like they want to kill us. Like once we off them, can we finally be free? And that, like I said, as somebody that was very resistant to watching the show, to watch that scene, it kind of, I'm not gonna lie, that scene struck a chord. Like even in pre-pro, we were just talking about. Like I even had to download that the soundtrack for that because that was emotional strength right there.
It's a good point. It's a good point you made. My bad. I'm gonna be quick, but like that's the whole question of the show too. Like what is it gonna take to save humanity at this point? Like if I eradicate all the people that currently hate me, won't I just have more enemies when we come back to like this island? Like regardless of what I do over there, like that's the whole question. Like Zeke's plan is like, do I euthanize everybody, just to get this over with? And Eren is gonna like try to appease his plan. So that constant question of that there's no right answer, it's kind of the reason that the ending wasn't gonna wrap up in a bow either, right? Like at least gave you that realistic framing. But I'm gonna get off of Eren so much
because you've been Like, did you jot this? Like you got all these points off, Playboy. Good God.
I want to ask you guys though, like, what did y'all think? The finale itself, the first 30 minutes was action packed nonstop, and the second half was the breakdown and everything that led up to the ending. So, what did y'all like take from that? Like, what were y'all overall thoughts on the finale itself? Because we didn't really get into that either.
The finale itself was fucking awesome. If you take in the fact that it was fucking 2 fucking movies, and you get the last movie like 2 months ago or whatever. But this whole like final finale, I thought was fucking great. Everything, no complaints about anything in the finale. Everything was fucking fantastic. Like it's an hour-long movie or something like that, right?
Hour and a half. Even Falco, because I know you read the manga because I read it because of you. Did you like Falco's beast transformation or attack Titan transformation? Yeah, he looks straight. It's a little bit different. Okay.
Yeah, he looks straight. As well as a humanoid giant bird can look. He looks
okay. Fair enough.
He looks good. They're whooping the fuck out of them people at Mappa, bro. Like the animation looks straight. Shout out to the last increment scene, the last ODM gear scene. I've watched that shit on TikTok a lot. I was like, thank you for sending off Levi and like Mikasa off well, son.
And a bang.
Damn well they
no pun intended
out there. Fucking fire, son. That scene's fire. It's on par with the Kenny scene, but it's not the Kenny scene. But shout out to that.
I know we're doing a deep dive on the final, but who's your favorite Ackerman?
That's a dumb question.
It has to be Levi. I'm sorry, man. I just seen him go rage mode. But
Danny was that nigga. He was that nigga.
I mean, I just the other thing I was gonna say was like that's DeAndre liked it, and I know Merle, you also read the manga too before it ended. But like Tierno, you only watched the anime. The anime only fans, this hit way different. So I do want to know what you thought of the finale.
I don't even know where to begin, but just starting from like the last special, I honestly just sat there waiting for like the last like 9+ months, formulating all these different like potential ways they could have took the direction of the story.
Real quick, T,
and have my own.
My bad. Real quick, T. Nothing in you made you want to just say, "Yo, hey, I know it's out there. Let me let me cheat myself or some type of way to check out and see what's going on."
Every day, I feel myself like, hey,
you got Eren Yeager level commitment right there.
I went to the doctors and they told me like, "Hey, tomorrow is your last day to live." I would have read the manga that night. I would have said, "Yeah, I gotta finish this." But honestly, going in, I 100% knew that I wanted to watch it the same way I've been watching all the other previous seasons. And only thing I'm honestly mad about is that this special isn't in theaters. Like, yo, if you can have movies like almost superheroes in theaters, this needs to be in theaters. Like, take my money, please. I want to be there.
Low key, this would have been the Demon Slayer movie, low key, bro. Like this would have.
Ooh, really?
Like if it was in theaters, just like
really?
ticket sales. This ticket sales in general. Like I'm not saying like in quality or anything, but ticket sales, like it would have destroyed.
No disrespect, nothing like that. I'm not gonna say Demon Slayer. I would say the Jujutsu joint. This would be the Jujutsu hands down. I would think.
Fuck yeah!
Just because Jujutsu doesn't have that type of popular, but unfortunately, Demon Slayer has a large following. So yeah, I kind of got to squash that one down real quick. I'm sorry.
No, I mean you guys are right. But those first opening 30 minutes to watch that being animated in theaters, that's 100% worth any bit of money.
Facts. Big facts.
Like,
crazy.
Come on.
No, crazy. Like the action scenes, like, oh my goodness, I can't even like begin to start. Like, do you guys remember where Annie did like the Achilles heel like hardening and like literally smash him with like everything was just done to a perfect T. And like so one thing that the show does well is like it really throughout the entire series always just makes you feel like the protagonist or the team that like should like has like the moral right consciousness has no hope of winning. Like
there you go, yes, sir. Talk about it.
You had John literally hanging on to Rhina, just saying like, "Yo, I got you.
And
And
they
like
hate each
everybody
other
else,
too.
like, yes, they hate each other. They were literally beating each other's face in at like the campfire, like episodes ago. And yeah, no, like they were just really just like they were a team, and like they were fighting it through to like the last very second. And honestly, like the first hour of it was all like, what is it,
Hey, your
combat,
man
all like the
Connie
business
wasn't about to make
resolution.
it for a minute. Connie was hanging.
Yeah,
He
Right.
wasn't
yeah,
about to make it. He was about to be
I
RIP
thought
for that
Manga was gonna
nigga.
die soon in the manga.
I
Wait,
was,
yeah.
I was like, I like just like to pick up what Tierno's saying, like it did create that tension really well because their one ace in the hole was, yo, let the colossal titan Armin like transform, wipe him out to give y'all like a chance of trying to take down Eren, but nah,
Nowhere
let's
in
scoop
sight.
up Armin out of here.
Nowhere in sight.
Because like let's make it even harder than it is gonna be. like it wasn't gonna be impossible to take down the founding titan power right now, but yeah, let's make this even more difficult. But yeah, I mean, you gave Annie, who you haven't seen since season 1. Some people might have forgot about her, whatever. You got a lot of shine. You give Connie shine. Then you give like the Mikasa and Annie teaming up together and Levi teaming up together. Levi's washed, and Levi did the one thing that he promised Erwin he was gonna do. He finished what's his name? He
Zeke.
finished Zeke.
I have
Yeah.
I have a real guy. I was talking to Tiana about this. The whole Zeke switching, not necessarily switching sides, but just deciding to help thing. I felt like that came like too fast, and he was just too eager to help. Because I was comparing it to, I don't know if it's like an analogy, but I was like compared to like Batman vs Superman. Batman was like, yo, if there's even a 1% chance Superman isn't against us, blah blah blah. He's like, we have to take this with an absolute certainty and kill this nigga. That's the type of time Zeke was on, bro. He was like, yo, fuck all of y'all. I fucking hate all of y'all. Fuck everyone. And then he gives an Armin and like the paths, and they talk for all of like 10 minutes, and he's just like, bet, switching sides. Yo, I'm over here, kill me right here. So my whole thing with that was like, that's a whole switch up really quick. And I understand you gotta wrap it up. I'm just saying, I'm just saying you gotta like, I was like, so much hate just turned around. And maybe he
gotta think about
go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say the concept of time in that joint. Like I imagine that it was like kind of like the hyperbolic time chamber, like like 5 minutes, in there
That's
is
true.
like only like a minute out, or like an hour in there.
I see you giving him rope. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but that is true.
I'm helping out a little bit. I'm trying my best. I got the concept. I know what they were doing. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. Go ahead, Tino.
Oh no, like just like a off tangent like comparison I'd give it. It kind of did remind me a little bit of like a Naruto-esque like comparison with like Naruto and Nagato. Like, dude, just like they have opposing views, but then like at the end, you guys can just talk it out and then change like the antagonist.
Kumbaya,
so, like,
baby.
Oh, I guess throw me a baseball. Like I guess
throw me a baseball. We good.
That was his main thing he wanted to. Like, let me hold it down. And you would be forgetting how many stories there are to keep up with, and maybe like my brain also like kind of didn't give Zeke the amount of attention he needed. Like I remember Zeke was just kind of feeling like he felt betrayed by Eren because Eren apparently understood what Ymir's plan was and stuff like that, but Eren didn't. Eren just knew that Mikasa understood what Ymir's like whole thing was or whatever as well. So like it was always like something else to distract you with something else that was going on. So even when Zeke did like kind of turn tides, my thought was maybe he doesn't want humanity ruled out of fear. Maybe that was his thing. Maybe this is why, like, at the end of the day, if Eren is going to really commit to this, then, like, let me give them the last bit of help they have. Like, I didn't even know that was an ability. It's almost like finding out powers on the fly. Like, oh, yeah, even though I'm in Eren, I can also control the Titans on top of his back. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, right?
Well,
I mean,
stop the whole time.
I don't think he could have stopped the rumbling, but I think I don't know what it was between that something like that's a power that wasn't explained. Like I barely understand the founding Titans power, so that's one thing I can't even comprehend either. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought it up, Drew.
Yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
No. I will certainly say, like, I'm glad you mentioned that because the euthanization plan, that whole thing in general, it wasn't like meant to kill anybody. If anything, it was the most peaceful way. Like, of course, ethical dilemma still exists, but like, it was the most peaceful way for them to at least like remove the whole Titan like bloodline completely from like the map without just essentially like shedding any blood or having any war. So to your point, like I don't think they were essentially, or Zeke was essentially really down for like the whole rumbling idea, or really trying to like just mass murder cities the same way Eren
just like can't produce.
Yeah,
Uh,
since he can't
uh,
produce. Exactly. Hey, look at Merle. Merle didn't pay attention. Man.
What
No, my bad. I doubted
yo,
you. I'm sorry. I'm
yo,
sorry. I'm
what's up
sorry.
with this nigga?
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
you spoke
I'm
about
happy.
Zeke being distracting. Was him, cheeked up out, out the Titan? Was that distracting to anybody else, or
I
no? We're
didn't
going to
peep
just skip
that.
past
That's some
that.
strong ass cheeks,
uh,
just in
Yeah, they
shape.
were. I know somebody saw him.
I like that
what
look
kind
of
of gross?
confusion from Levi because he's kind of like that was that whole beauty of that last episode when you're watching like these two waves of people that have been trying to kill each other. Like
For
even
the
Levi and Zeke
longest.
is kind of like, do I kill you or not? And that's one of the things where Levi is like,
Nah, his
nah.
Ackerman blood came in. His Ackerman blood came in. He said, "Yo, I don't care what type of bait this is. I'm coming in for the
I
headshot.
gotta
I'm
take
going
it.
for the
Gotta
head.
take
I'm
it.
going for the head."
Yeah, like and 5-0 on you too, like which was crazy. Like every time they threw hands, like it was. I don't even think Zeke got close to beating him ever.
No,
No.
just
Like it
like
was
the last time with like the fucking cart explosion.
the thunder spears and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking trying to kill him. The other thing I know that everyone has like a curiosity to is the whole like Mikasa thing, right? Like so, Mikasa and Eren's relationship has been kind of like explored in this. It's obviously been developed a lot more in the anime, but I think people have a lot of confusion, and even I somewhat do. So like Ymir and was it King Fritz? Like she's suffering from some type of like Stockholm syndrome, where she's like obsessed with her captor. It's revealed that she was actually in love with her, and the reason Eren believes that Mikasa knows is because Mikasa's like in love with me, kind of reciprocates his feeling, and
Yeah.
like that feeling would save Ymir, right? Now, again, that's one of them things where like I'm a little loose on too, where I'm like I don't fully grasp like why that's the tie-in or to save Ymir, but I don't know if anyone else
Because
had like a
she's
thought to
never
it.
seen, it's like, like that old saying, like, to have loved and to be loved. She loved but was never loved back. She was like treated like shit. She
There you go,
was
Playboy.
eaten by
There
her
you
kids,
go.
right?
Talk
Her
that
kids
shit.
ate her. And then Mikasa loved Eren. Eren was just like, yo, girls, cuties, whatever. No. So
All right, don't do
Amir
that, my guy.
finally
Like
got to
that.
see like, love at its like
True love.
form. Yeah. So that's what it was. She needed to
Like
see that.
even if I know
She
that
has to
you're a
understand.
biggest piece of shit.
Yeah.
I know you're a big piece
No,
of
but-
shit. You're a total tyrant. I love you to death, but I have to stop this to save the fuck and everybody else. So
I mean,
nah,
yeah.
she did what she had to do.
No, I like that interpretation a lot, DeAndre. And I even like took it to like the level of, hey, if Mikasa is able to walk away from Eren, or at least like pretty much cut this slave tie to Eren, then that's what made me think like, all right, Amir said in herself, all right, I should be able
I
to
can
cut
let
this slave
go.
tie that I have with King Fritz.
That's a good
So
way,
like
yeah.
that's what got her to like.
And
say,
don't that just piss you guys off, knowing like, oh, maybe it could all come back? That don't piss y'all off?
No, because I think
shit.
I like
Look at him, look at him.
because I like the parallel that both of y'all drew. Like, and especially if you look at it like if Mikasa watched someone else slave around for someone else, and then like Ymir felt that in herself, and then watched someone have the strength to walk away. Like that is actually the beauty in it. Then, like that's why people thought Eren understood Ymir, but it wasn't even him. He's like, no, Mikasa did. Like Mikasa will. And like the two moments that Eren and her have is like when they're waking up, in the first episode, and he's asking her why she's crying, and in the final episode where she like it reverses and stuff, and then the only two moments you have is like the moments I pretty much erased from you, like you kissing me, and this is the last thing that Ymir is gonna see, and then not even to mention just the last thing was that another trope you defeat where you try to be Mr. Cool Guy. I want her to forget me, but like Armin punches him in the face. Like, are you serious? Like, you serious? You really? And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want her to move on. Like, think about me for 10 years after this. Like, don't lose that.
If that don't make Eren a nigga, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that don't make him a real nigga, I don't know what will.
Like, there's just too many things that are so like shitty but so likable because it's so relatable and it's so true. And that's why like when DeAndre keeps saying like the ending doesn't piss you off that it could happen again. I'm like, that's the point. It's supposed to. It will actually. Better yet, it's definitely going to happen again. It's not that it's.
Hey yo, I don't like this mature side of you with shit. Like I don't like this. Like I don't like that this show makes you this much evolve. Like I need you to like take a couple steps. My guy, relax.
It's the memories of my future that just keep coming back to me right now.
I got a
let me ask this question. Let me ask.
No,
No, I insist.
Okay.
I
I insist.
A humble guess. Hey, we gotta get Tim back on here. I like this guy. Love this guy.
Yeah.
Humble
So,
guess. Gotta love
I know
it.
for Abdul and Tierno, I was like, this is their peak. This is like number one for them. Merle, you have
Okay.
watched a shit ton of anime, and like this may not
Oh,
be
thank
in
you.
your top 5, but I want to know,
Appreciate
is it in your top 5? Like, would you put it there?
Um, top 5 might be a little strong.
Oh,
Like I said,
Look at this, like,
it
a
is.
nomad.
Now what I will say is that due to tier list, I think this is
bro.
reasonably this. Oh shit! Hey, put your
You
O
gotta
in
take him
gear
down,
away.
Sam.
Relax. Put your gear
Take him
away.
down.
Relax. No need to take down this Titan.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Distracted.
Nate,
But I will say this is definitely A tier quality anime slash manga. It's definitely worth the watch. I think I probably would have had it higher if certain individuals didn't, chastise and just, put it at such a high level and, promote it
Okay.
to be the best thing heaven
Yeah,
sent.
yeah.
But once again, due to the fanboy and everything that he's told about the story and how relatable it is to life and just the emotions and the depth and just, the construct of it, it's a pretty fire. Like I said, it definitely I definitely caught myself binging through. There were some slow moments here and there, I will admit. I think you guys can agree with that too. But
Can't though. But
okay, well, I guess
no, I'm
somebody's
gonna
not being
relate to
honest.
you with something else, but I want you
Look
to
at that,
finish.
look at that.
Sorry. No, I want you to finish.
But overall, I would put this up there. I'll for the humble, I'll put it in my top 10. I'll say that
Yeah.
at least.
Only thing I was gonna say is that you and Tierno are two people. Like, I did hype up this anime, so I relate to Merle when like someone puts something like props something else as like the best thing you're gonna watch. So then you're watching it with the stipulation of thinking like, all right, well, this better like kind of blow my mind or whatever, right? So you're kind of looking for like, what is it that's gonna like surprise you, or like what is it I'm gonna be comparing it to all these other animes, right?
Talk
So I
about
feel you, because I do that too. If somebody tells me a show is that good, I'm gonna be kind of skeptical going in. So I
take ownership.
apologize.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely
Oh,
shouldn't have done that. I understand that,
Shit.
but it's just funny because Tierno, I did the exact same thing, but he relates to exactly what I'm saying. He kind of felt exactly what I'm talking about.
Not
Like,
to be an ass,
he
I love
knows it,
T.
so,
I
yeah.
love T, but like
Yeah.
Nissan said, I have a lot on my repertoire. Like I said, I got a lot of shows, and they're all up here. And like I said, now mind you, like I said, don't get it wrong, solid story. I think you hype boys just hyped it a little bit too much for me. But
I know, and I agree. We probably hyped it up, but I feel like if we didn't, you would be right where we
I would have
are.
loved it. Oh yeah, I would have loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
you ruined it
So,
for me.
like, yeah, and I have to take that. And no, it's not a thing, because it's not an indictment on the show. It's more so when someone talks about something too much, it kind of ruins the fun out of
You
it.
shit
So,
on my shows
yeah.
and shit like that, and it's
That
like
too.
I'm
I
not a
did
fan
that.
of that. Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
I
Admit,
did.
yeah, get it all out. Admit everything that you did. Yeah,
I did it, dude. It was the founding Titan power in me. I couldn't help
Oh
but
shit.
I'm sorry, man, but I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, the real reason, and Tierno, I don't know what you thought, but like the amount of peak moments you had in the show is the reason I kind of set it apart from every other anime. Like, I think like the Reiner reveal and like the Levi versus Kenny fight. I think what we talked about when you revealed that he was the one traveling back in time to like talk to his dad. I think there were so many of these real peak moments, even in the action itself, when he's the one to take down the colossal titan and Armin is getting burned alive in front of him and he pulls, like, there were just too many of those, like those heights that the show reached. And it's not an indictment on any other anime, but I just don't think any other anime has hit the peaks that this show hit.
No,
that is my thought. So
Are
yeah.
you trying to troll?
certainly.
No, I'm not trolling anything. Go ahead, Tier.
Yeah,
T.
certainly agree. Like, I remember like just seeing how excited you guys were about like season 4, part 1 coming to an end, and watching all the way from season 1 to 3, and honestly not calling it like even like top 5 for me. Like, to be completely honest, the first time through, it was season 3, part 2. Like, when like they finally made it to the cellar, I kept telling myself, all right, once they give us the big reveal, like what's like the big like I don't know, what are they hiding from us? That's when I would eventually like decide this is my favorite show. And of course, too, with like the whole Rhino reveal, seeing how unique it was. Like, I've seen so many animes where they've stayed on like the same beaten path. This show, it just took so many different unique paths of like revealing interesting information, like such as like how like Rhino just casually like let that information be known, like, hey, by the way, Eren, I'm the armored. And, like,
That was probably the funniest scene.
So cool, dude.
No, I think if you guys read that, it would be way more better, because like it's like someone's having a full ass conversation and like they're taking up half the panel, and then on the side panel is just revealed like, yo, I'm the armored, he's the thing. I was like, I was like real, like, yo, what the fuck?
It's
Like,
good
nigga,
at,
what'd
it's
you
good
say?
at, exactly. It's really good at building that, like, that art of direction and just that general distraction in itself. So like, it didn't even hit you until it gets silent enough to be like, oh, it drove the point home until you watch Eren transform and be like, this can't be real. You feel like Eren in that moment. You're like, no way.
Well,
What?
even if
Like,
when you go back and look at some of those episodes, just like T was saying, like you guys, speaking about, you can look back. If you look at some of those episodes, you even see Reiner and them about to bite down to transform, and like there's subtle Easter eggs here and there. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, once again, if you didn't ruin it, I would really like this because I did notice like why is this thing about to bite down and go crazy, this, that, and the third. But like I said, yeah, a lot of Easter eggs. There's actually just throw one out there. I don't know if you guys, especially the fanboys right here. There's alleged Easter eggs that saying that Eren, there's a glimpse of future Eren in past episodes. Have you guys heard anything or seen anything
He's
about
in the
that?
first episode.
You believe the hype or? Okay.
Yeah, he's in the first episode.
Oh,
It's like him, Mikasa, and Armin like underneath like a bridge or whatever. And they're talking. There's like a dude in, like a hood, just like going like this. It's Eren. They show that exact same scene again, like when he's going through the past and the future, showing like Zeke.
Oh shit. Okay.
See, man. I'm telling you, man. There's too many subtleties. There's like a reason to watch it again. Literally, like there's literally. If you want to watch it, go ahead.
No, that's certainly like a beauty of like this writing style, like where the creator isn't constantly trying to add new stuff at the end of it, where they know the end the day that or like the day that the first episode drops. That is like the best writing style because then it doesn't feel like you're just constantly adding like one-ons, which constantly like you have to like make sense with like the past stuff you've written, and honestly like kind of reminds me of like Cell Saga and Boo Saga.
I don't know about Boo Saga. I don't know about that one, but yeah, Boo Saga.
And I just want to ask this question. Like I said, Nissan. I know we good, but especially mainly you two gentlemen. Does this make you guys want to divulge more into the anime world? Are there animes out there that are catching your eye and attention? Now, will you follow the same genre construct, or does this open the door for more, in-depth stuff? Like, where are we at with this? Talk to me.
I don't know where you are, Tano. I'm into like short, cohesive, like more mature kind of anime where I kind of want it to be adult theme. I don't like cheesy anime humor, and I'm really not like if you like anime, you have to just be okay with fillers. I'm not. Like I'm one of those guys that's kind of like you need to give me like exactly what I'm looking for. Like I'll watch them short or like 12 episode seasons or whatever, and then like I don't know, I just like a short story better than anything. This was like obviously even though this anime spanned across 10 years, like I said, it was only 80 episodes, and not a single episode was a filler conversation or any cheesy anime humor or anything. It was just to the point. Like we're throwing hands. Not to mention main characters are dying left and right.
That's true.
Like
That's
R.I.P. Sasha. And then you have the dynamic characters in there. You had your main character, Eren, and then even Reiner you were just talking about. Like, I'm hating this guy through season 3, all the way up to season 3 until this last season. I'm
rooting
like,
for him.
yeah, like he's because you see him feeling guilty about what he's going through. You see him literally kind of like feeling like, oh man, like, am I doing the right thing or not? That's a complex character. This is like the Jamie Lannister of the show, where you're like, oh man, like I kind of feel for him, but he still has this piece of shit. He's fighting my boy Eren. Can't really rock with him. I don't like. I like that, and I think this. Unfortunately, I think this show set the bar too high. That's my opinion. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find another show this good to this quality to this degree, but I hope so. So yeah, my bad.
What about you, T?
No, certainly agree. But I even would add Death Note to like my list of animes that I now need to watch, because I heard like the director that directed like the anime for Attack on Titan worked on Death Note, and it just seems like it's one of those that like I don't know too much about it, but it seems like it's one of those thinkers where like it kind of like changes like the way your outlook on certain things after you from the moment you start to the moment you end. So definitely want to get into more of that. Like I feel like I've dipped more than enough into like the shonen anime that I kind of want to break out of that pattern. So I think that's what Attack on Titan has got me going.
Okay, so you out of the let's be friends, let's team up thing. All right, that hurts a little bit, but that's what we grew up on. But it's all right.
He's watching Jujutsu Kaisen. That's what he's on right now, right? He's watching season 2.
Okay, say less.
I love Death Note, by the way.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely love Death Note.
Best ever. So just gonna say that.
Yeah. Quick question. I do want to ask, like, from your guys' standpoint, like, kind of watching the show for like far longer than I've watched it for like what was like roughly 3 years. Like, what the way you guys thought it was gonna end? Like, I know in my 9 months waiting from like the special up until now, I kind of pictured Eren going out in like a Batman sort of fashion, like at the end of the Dark Knight, where everyone thinks he's like the villain, and like this kind of goes into like more lore of like things that I think that they set up on purpose just to kind of tease fans. but never used, such as like Historia's baby. Like I easily saw like a possible ending being where like Eren dies, Historia has her baby just in time to inherit all of like Eren's like Titans, like the attack and the Warhammer and whatnot. And then when it's that baby that grows up, it ultimately become, or that he or she baby ends up becoming the one to tell Eren's story, to say like when they inherit the memories, they say like, oh, Eren actually didn't intend to like cause all this harm. He was actually trying to unite all the nations. And I thought Eren was going to die like that, where all of his friends think that he's like this enemy. I thought he was going to go out like Batman. I thought that would have been really dope. I see how it wouldn't make sense with like a lot of things that they tried to do, but I really still do appreciate how he like, had a one last message with like, all of his boys from like Mikasa, Armin, John, Connie, all that. I thought that was still cool, but
I
curious on
definitely
thoughts.
agree with that fucking sidebar of just like, yo, Historia's pregnant by some random farmer, blah blah blah. And I was like, that story now just doesn't make any type of fucking sense. Like, why the fuck was that even a storyline? I completely forgot about that. Yeah, why the fuck did the story have a baby, and why the fuck did it matter?
It was a tease.
Abdul
It was a tease
Elizabeth.
because like the whole ability, they never use that ability, but they mentioned like anyone of the 9 that ends up passing away without, I guess like without anyone inheriting it, the next born Eldian was supposed to pick it up. So for that, the fact that they made that rule and never used it, really was like, I think dude was just trying to mess with me. He knew that I was like looking for that rule. But he never followed through.
You're right. It distracted me enough too, because like you probably thought of the ending like a step further than I did. Like when the reveal happened that he was the one that kind of controlled the whole thing, that like he's inventing the chess game as you guys are playing checkers. Like he's the one that's doing this. He's orchestrating. I thought his plan was to just get the founding Titan power. I didn't think beyond it, because I thought it was just, get the founding Titan power to fucking eradicate the rest of humanity. I didn't think that his plan was the step beyond of like, let me, like you said, trying to die as Batman. Let me kind of like let me level out the playing field so that now when these two nations, quote unquote, go to war again, at least it'll be a couple hundred years of peace before they do. And you guys can still look like the heroes. So again, I was distracted by the fact that this was the reveal, instead of once it was revealed that I intended to die, I knew that Mikasa was going to kill me, that this was the extra plan on top of that. So I guess that surprise element maintained there for so long that it didn't bother me. And two, I was just kind of happy that it wasn't what I expected. I think there wasn't a moment of me predicting something to happen that actually panned out, because I was thinking either he gets killed or he eradicates them. Those are the only two options, and neither happened. So, one of them happened technically, but yeah.
I'm upset because the whole story thing was like a big thing, right? Like, yo, she gets pregnant like little right after they like save paradise, whatever. She gets pregnant, but then those couple, we don't know who the nigga is, so the nigga is unimportant. But the baby,
not at all.
And you know something funny about that? I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you can go ahead. I'm waiting.
No, like the funniest thing is, if anybody that's like watching like goes back to the episode right before like the recent special, it's like a Eren like getting ready to do the rumbling type of episode, and he's having a conversation with Historia on her farm, saying like, "Hey, yo, Historia, this is my plan. Like, I want you to know that like this is how it's gonna go down." And she's like, "Nah, Eren, you can't do that. Like, all these people are gonna die not knowing what they did." And she at the last second says, "Hey, I have an idea. I'll have a child." And then it cuts away and then it goes to the rumbling. So it's really just kind of like feeding into the idea that like Historia had a plan in mind that was never enacted on. So I don't know. I just recommend you guys go revisit that scene. But it's like really funny that they like really had all these like Easter eggs to kind of like foreshadow something, but just completely did nothing with it.
I'm not gonna defend this one.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like,
I've
been honest as everything, but I'm like, hang on, there's some things that lost me too. So,
but I compare it to like Game of Thrones. Like I remember with like Arya, for example, like they were like foreshadowing that she was supposed to kill like what was it, like Daenerys and like all these other people beyond like just the White Walker, but they just never followed through on that. So like I took it on a similar stride where like just because they set it up doesn't mean they have to use it.
No, what was the point of setting it up? Nothing's supposed to be arbitrary about anything you show. Like everything is for a reason. So why set it up? I do have questions about that. I need answers. I really do.
I don't know, man. There was a million stories happening to follow through on everything. Like, I don't know. There was 10 revenge plots happening at once.
Yeah, but if One Piece ends without closing this one story, I'm gonna be mad. Close the entire thing. End it. If you're gonna end it, and just have these ass ended fucking.
So all I heard was that me not putting that S tier was probably the right move, right? That's what I'm hearing, gentlemen.
I'm nitpicking.
That's a nitpick. I think it's a very valid question to ask. Like, hey, what about this?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what I like. I'm trying to think of things I didn't like or I didn't appreciate. Like I'm really at a loss because I think like the way it was executed was just so like the actual story is done. If you're gonna nitpick at like sideline stories and be like, oh well, this wasn't fully developed or explained all the way, then okay. I mean, you might have a credence, but you have maybe one to complain about.
Answer Tierno's question.
But the wrap up of even Levi seeing his boys, seeing Sasha and all them again. Come on, man! Like there was so many like high like emotional driven moments. Like the one thing also even weird, even though it was cool, was your girl Mikasa walking with your dead head in her hand.
Yeah, faithfully.
Crazy as shit that she kissed that head, bro.
Dying with the scarf.
I mean.
No, social media hasn't memed me. I'm waiting for it to be memed. I was like, yo, she kissed that head. I was like, I know.
I kind of want to ride it down like that.
I know it smelled crazy.
Yeah.
All right, this.
I'm not gonna lie, though.
Go ahead.
I did expect that. I don't know if you guys remember the scene where like the bird kind of like touches up on the scarf. I thought the bird was about to snatch the scarf off her.
Yeah.
Just like, because I honestly thought that like the way Mikasa was, I thought Mikasa was supposed to like the way the show was going. It really
be free.
Like they were building up for like, just to be free, just completely like Eren was supposed to represent like this like slave love like relationship, and she was just supposed to be free, and like her keeping
she was still bound
onto that scarf. Yeah, but like, there's also still like rumors with the end credit scenes where like I don't know if you guys noticed like Mikasa's there in like one of the first scenes, and then you see her come back with like a dude, or it appears to be Mikasa, and then she comes back again older with like more family around her, which we have to assume like Mikasa maybe again. I'm assuming
who clapped her.
She moved on, had kids and stuff.
Who clapped her?
There was like
who clapped her, guys?
A joke that it might be Gene.
John.
John? Okay. That's what everybody thinks.
What you're saying is Mikasa is
she moved on.
No, she's Jada Pinkett Smith. Yeah,
Eren
is her Tupac.
We're not doing this right now.
I love the
Jada
Pinkett.
No, pretty much, yeah. No, that I saw the exact thing that you're talking about. The exact thing you're talking about, like with that ending. So the other thing I've been noticing, at least not that it's meme, but I have been noticing that like the people that were complaining about the manga ending are appreciating the anime ending a lot more, and the people that waited for the anime to appear are kind of like, why were the manga readers complaining about like the ending in itself? So I think across the board, if you could nitpick at it, you can, but I think it's not like it's not a Game of Thrones where it just fell apart. It's told the story right. Like there's a meme online that even says like Game of Thrones, this is how you do it. And I think that's hilarious because that's how I feel about the show. Where I'm like, yeah, this kept the momentum going like from start to finish. So I don't know. I don't have much else. I just want to say this is a generational masterpiece of an anime.
You sure you don't have nothing else?
See another one else. So
you sure? You positive?
Leave it there. Say, God, I'll leave my Titan powers on the table.
We have a whole guest here. We didn't even let you. Good God, it's a dually show. So I'm playing.
No, but I certainly agree. This anime was it was a nail biter from beginning to end. It honestly took what was essentially like a beaten path for like a way of writing a story, completely flipped it on its head and said, exactly what you think we're gonna do, we're not gonna do, and whatever you're not expecting, we're gonna find a way to throw it in there and like leave you at the edge of your seat. I will say one funny connection I just drew the first time. This is just a random tidbit I just remembered is the first time in that what was it? Mikasa and Levi ever did a coordinated attack was to go save Eren when he got
from
swallowed
Reiner.
by
No,
not even from Reiner, from the female Titan, from her mouth. And now the
and
last
cut her
coordinated
jaw
attack,
open. Yeah.
And then the last coordinated attack they did was to go kill Eren. So like first one's to save him, last one's to kill him.
T did the science.
Let's go.
Hey, Dooley, that's supposed to be your fact. That's
I
my
didn't
young
peep
fag.
that. I didn't peep that. Nah,
Young
son,
T coming down the
he
mix.
has the founding Titan power, son. He was the cart Titan for a while, but he's the
He's the
founding
cart
Titan
Titan
now.
now.
son.
It's
Yeah, yo,
disrespectful.
I've learned that like, yo, you can't even disrespect the car time these days no more.
Can't
Yeah.
She
cart
had
Titan
limelight.
throwing
She had
down.
limelight in
She
this
did her
show.
thing. She did her thing. Last thing I'm gonna say, man, just as a big, 30-year-old nerd that's been doing this for a while now, I am so glad that you guys are just, getting enveloped with the community, and I'm glad that there's a show that
All
resonates
right,
with you
stop trying
guys
to
that,
big bro us
oh,
about
all
everything,
right.
man. This guy
Excuse
always
me.
trying to big bro us about anime.
Excuse me. Just want
Anime
to.
wisdom,
I
Master
can't.
Roshi Merle.
I can't give you praise. I'm bigging you
No,
guys up for
I'm
just
kidding.
taking that steps,
I'm
man. Like I
kidding. You
said,
always do this to me, like, man, it's good that you're starting on your journey. Like,
it is
you're trying
good.
to big bro me. You're like, shut
I
up,
mean, I'm
man.
older than you
Yeah.
and taller. So, I mean, by default, But
It's like, nah, I'm kidding.
I'm glad you guys found something. I'm glad. Like, I mean, even like T said, this opened up the doors for him that he wants to, get involved with other animes. And like I said, I salute you guys. And I'm here for you guys' quest. I like it.
What we doing, man? We gotta do it, man. We gotta do it, man. We gotta do it, man. Yeah. Come on, DeAndre.
Yeah, he was late. Come on,
Man.
don't be late next time.
Salute to Attack on Titan, yo.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everything.
100%.
Repeat what everyone
Pray.
repeat what everyone said. Good show. I think everyone should definitely check it out. If you haven't seen it, you definitely gotta fucking watch it. Highly recommend. Definitely up there with everything else. But yeah, I think that's it for everybody. I think we good. And
Do you need to say anything? I mean, we've been
me?
nerding out.
No.
Yeah, you've been kind of quiet.
Everything was said. Everything was said.
Everything we just said. Okay, just double check.
But yeah, let us know what you thought down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Is this in your top 5? Is it top? Is it number 1? Let us know, and we'll catch
Top
you on
10.
the next one. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.